What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling, back at it again with a brand new video. And of course, we are still in the big stretch of wrestling pay-per-views towards the end of summer. Of course, we are 2 days away from the 6th annual AEW All Out for the year 2024. And we have quite a few matches already announced for the card. And since it's 2 days away, I figured it would be a good time to predict the card. Feels like all the matches that are actually worth talking about are already official. I already know that like come Collision or come Rampage, there's going to be like a bunch of random matches, a bunch of 0-hour matches that nobody will care about that will be announced. So I'm just going to talk about all the matches that are official as of September 5th, 2024. And we're going to go through the matches one by one and give our predictions for each and every single one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for all the support on all the recent videos before we get started. And if you are new, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to turn those post notifications on so that way you never miss an upload. And without further ado, let's get right on to the card. As so far we have 8 matches announced. So we are going to go from top to bottom and give our predictions. So first on the card, we got for the AEW International Championship, we got Will Ospreay defending the championship against 1/3 of the current AEW World Trios Champions, Pac. Now, this match is going to steal the show. We already know that Uncle Dave is going to give this match 5, 6, even 7 stars for this match because he just glazes for the Billy Goat so much. But I am indeed looking forward to this match. I've wanted to see this match ever since Will Ospreay was officially in AEW, and we're finally going to see it. We should have gotten this at All In, to be quite honest, because the All In crowd would invest so much in this, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. We're getting it at All Out, but I would be a madman to say that Will Ospreay is not retaining here. I think Will Ospreay will retain, especially since Will Ospreay is already teasing a feud with the recently debuting Ricochet. I think maybe Wrestle Dream or Full Gear, we're going to get Will Ospreay versus Ricochet, and that will be the big feud for the AEW International Championship going forward. Not that I'm saying Pac won't put up a fight, but I just don't see a scenario where Pac becomes the new international champion. So my pick, and still AEW International Champion, very simple, is going to be William Ospreay. And next, in a Chicago street fight, it's going to be Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander with Stokely Hathaway. Now, I don't know really. I thought this was going to be for like that CMLL Women's Championship or something like that Willow Nightingale has. But it's not. It's non-title in Chicago street fight. And I don't know really who would win because it could really go either way. Not like this match is very important, so it's not like I really care if I get this prediction wrong. But I am going to say I think it's going to be Chris Statlander. I think Chris Statlander, ever since she's lost the TBS championship, has really lost her stock in a way. Now, Willow Nightingale can easily rebound from a loss here, and especially with the factor that is Stokely Hathaway at ringside, I feel like Chris Statlander should get that win and then get an opportunity at that CMLL Women's World Championship against Willow Nightingale in the future, whether it's on a big episode of Dynamite or whether it's at Grand Slam or whether it's Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, whatever pay-per-view they decide to pull out. I think Chris Statlander needs this win more than Willow Nightingale. Willow's already had an incredible year in AEW. I think Chris Statlander really needs another win and to really prove that Chris Statlander still belongs in the women's division. And I will even go so far as to say Chris Statlander deserves another shot at a women's championship in the near future. So my pick, even though this is probably going to be wrong, Chris Statlander. Next, we got MJF versus Daniel Garcia. And this is probably one of my favorite feuds in AEW right now. You got MJF, the rejected former babyface, former world champion, who got injured, came back, chose AEW. He was going to be a free agent, and then all the fans loved Will Ospreay more. MJF got jealous, beat the hell out of Ospreay, and tried to kill Daniel Garcia because Garcia is also super over with the company right now. Daniel Garcia comes back, costing him the American Championship, and then here we are. Now, again, this can really go either way, but I really think Daniel Garcia has had a ton of start and stop pushes. And I think this should be the time to pull the trigger. Daniel Garcia needs this big win to really prove himself that he's going to that main event. Especially over the course of the storyline, Daniel Garcia has had that big underdog mentality. And I feel like if they are going to treat Daniel Garcia like he is a big star, he needs to beat MJF. And I know in terms of behind the scenes, a lot of people are like, oh, but Daniel Garcia wants to leave. Daniel Garcia wants to leave. You want to know a good way to convince someone to sign a contract? Have them go over against a former world champion and then book them in a world title program. Then, and only then, maybe then, I'm not going to say only then, maybe then, Daniel Garcia will want to re-sign with your company. I think whether Daniel's staying or not, he needs to beat MJF. So that is going to be my pick, Daniel Garcia. Next, for the AEW TBS Championship, we got Miss Creative Control. That won't work for me, brother. Mercedes Moné against Hikaru Shida, with Camille being barred from ringside. Now listen, man. I'm not even going to try to pretend like this match is going to be close. I'm not going to do this with this match as much as I would any other match. You know my opinion on Mercedes Moné. You know my opinion on her coming in immediately winning a championship. She already beat Britt Baker. Now she's going to beat Hikaru Shida. Who's next? Nyla Rose? Riho? Like, who's next? Saraya? So, I'm just going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to say my pick and still AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné. And then that's it. I'm not going to talk about her. Fuck it. I don't care. Next, we got Kazuchika Okada against 3 to-be-determined men in a fatal 4-way match for the AEW Continental Championship. Wow. The Continental title is actually going to be defended on pay-per-view? Nah. Alright, so let's see. The spots will be determined on the September 6th episode of Collision by 3 matches. Orange Cassidy versus Brian Keith, Lance Archer versus Mark Briscoe, and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Beast Mortos. Okay, so I guess this is going to be like a 2-part prediction. Who we think is going to win the 3 matches, and then who we think will win the 4-way match for the Continental Championship. So, Orange Cassidy versus Brian Keith. I'm going to say Orange Cassidy. I think he's going to advance. Lance Archer versus Mark Briscoe. I mean, they could have Lance Archer go over. Like, so that way he gets his, like, once or twice a year pay-per-view slot. But I'm going to say Mark Briscoe. I'm going to be safe. And Konosuke Takeshita versus the Beast Mortos. As much as the Beast Mortos is getting a bit of screen time right now, I'm going to say Konosuke Takeshita. And that should be Konosuke Takeshita. In terms of the match itself, so it would be, if my predictions would be correct, it would be Kazuchika Okada versus Orange Cassidy versus Mark Briscoe versus Konosuke Takeshita, and I think that should be the actual match. And in terms of the match itself, I will say Kazuchika Okada retains due to shenanigans. Let's say that Konosuke Takeshita is about to have the match won, and then Okada throws Takeshita outside the ring, covers the guy that Takeshita was going to pin, and retains the Continental Championship. Then for Grand Slam, you can tease a potential future match with Takeshita and Okada. And I'm going to say that if you're not going to give Takeshita a TNT Championship reign, you should give Takeshita a Continental title reign as a babyface. I feel like that would work. So, before we go there, in terms of All Out, my pick and still AEW Continental Champion, Kazuchika Okada. Next, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, we got the Young Bucks defending against the Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. I love the BCC, but honestly, this is the wrong combination. I felt like if Jon Moxley wasn't running around with Marina Shafir, I felt like we should have gotten this match months ago with Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli against the Young Bucks, but no. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I fell asleep during Collision last night. No, Dynamite last night. So I have no idea how this match became official. I don't really care. And I love the BCC, but they're already trios champions. No way they're going to be double champs. And the Young Bucks, I feel like they're just going to screw around again. There's going to be more shenanigans. So I'm going to say the winners and still AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. But geez Louise, I really hope that sooner rather than later we get new AEW Tag Team Champions, because this run by the Young Bucks right now is absolutely fucking atrocious. I think we need to have new champs, but AEW doesn't like booking any tag teams that aren't FTR and the Acclaimed, so we can't really hold our breath. So, and then next, for the AEW World Championship, we got Bryan Danielson defending the championship against Jack Perry. And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter get mad about the fact that Bryan Danielson will be facing Jack Perry in his first title defense. And a lot of people brought up this point. It's in Chicago. It's Jack Perry. A lot of people are going to boo Jack Perry. And Jack Perry's going to get a ton of heat because of Brawl In, because of CM Punk and everything like that. But it's like, let it go. Let it go, TK. I understand you want your world title challenger to get heat, and you want him to get booed out of the building. But at the expense of something that happened in real life, something that happened in a shoot, and something that a lot of people could say caused the downfall of AEW that we know, you're going to take advantage of that and try to do the whole don't forgive and forget with Jack Perry. But bullshit with CM Punk aside, in terms of the match itself, there is no fucking way that Jack Perry is winning the AEW World Championship here. This is like in 2016 with AJ Styles defending the WWE title against James Ellsworth. And I know there might be some Jack Perry fans out there that will hate that. But this is my equivalent to AJ versus James Ellsworth. There is no way that Jack Perry is going to win the belt unless Bryan Danielson's like, fuck you, I'm retiring now. And even then, if he's saying, fuck you, I'm retiring now, then you can have Christian Cage cash in that contract and have him beat Danielson for the world title. But I don't think Christian Cage is going to do that right now. I'm going to say easy dub. Bryan Danielson retains the AEW World Championship, and then we'll go on to possibly face Darby Allin at Grand Slam. And then I think maybe Grand Slam is where we see Christian Cage try and possibly fail to win the AEW World Championship and cash in that contract he won in the Gauntlet match. But my pick, still AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson. Then I think the match that's confirmed to be the main event. It is a steel cage unsanctioned lights out match between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. This match definitely deserves to main event, especially with the segment that I just watched before making this video, with Hangman Adam Page burning down the childhood home of Swerve Strickland that Swerve literally bought that day. I felt like that was a wicked, wicked segment, and I absolutely loved it. Unsanctioned lights out. Yeah, I think I saw a tweet by Tony Khan saying AEW cannot be held responsible for whatever happens in this match. This match is going to be fucking brutal. This match is going to absolutely, like, we're going to see blood. We're going to see fucking weapons. We're going to see explosions at this point. It's going to be literally a GCW, IWA Mid-South, ECW fucking gore fest. Like, I wouldn't care who wins this match, because this is, like, the end of this feud. This is, like, the end of the trilogy between Swerve and Hangman, and easily the best storyline, the best rivalry in AEW history. I don't care about the Mox and Punks. I don't care about the MJF and Punks, MJF and Adam Coles. Whatever rivalry you want to sell to me. The Omega and Moxley, Swerve and Hangman, easily the greatest rivalry in AEW history. I wouldn't care who wins this. But in terms of this match, I am going to say Swerve Strickland is going to win this rivalry, and then this rivalry is just going to be over. Swerve Strickland is going to beat Hangman Adam Page, and that will be the end of this storyline. That will be everything, and we can close the curtain on the greatest rivalry in AEW history. Where both these guys go from here, I don't know. I'm not even going to pretend to know. But I am very excited to see this match between Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. And if you were to ask me who I think would win, I'm going to predict Swerve Strickland. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for my AEW All Out 2024 predictions. Do you agree with my picks? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below what your picks are for AEW All Out, who you think will win, what match you're looking forward to the most, what match you're looking forward to the least. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you are new here, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, be sure to turn post notifications on so that way you don't miss an upload. And until next time, this has been your boy, Willie Does Wrestling. I will see you in the next video. Be good people, and peace.